We are continuing with Act 3, Scene 1 of Romeo and Juliet. Mercutio was just stabbed by Tybalt. Romeo was trying to break up the fight, but when he did that, he distracted Mercutio, and Mercutio was stabbed by Tybalt under Romeo's arm. Mercutio is very injured right now, and we're going to find out what happens. Let's go.
I thought all for the best. Help me into some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint. A plague of both your houses. They have made worm's meat of me. I have it, and soundly too. Your houses. This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath got this mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander.
Okay, so let me just pause here for 1 second. So we hear Mercutio say a plague on both your houses because Mercutio is blaming both the Capulets and the Montagues for his impending death. And plague was rampant back during that time, and that was something that they really feared, of dying of plague. So he cursed them both, okay? Romeo's thinking aloud here, and he's talking about how Mercutio is a relative of the prince. Okay, he's a cousin or something. He's a kinsman. The prince is not going to be happy about this street fight, and he's going to be even more upset that his relative Mercutio has been killed in this street fight. And Romeo, we're going to see, he was in a really good mood at the beginning of this scene because he had just been married. Now he's going to be in a very upset mood because his best friend was killed. Let's keep going.
Tybalt, that an hour hath been my cousin. O sweet Juliet, thy beauty hath made me effeminate, and in my temper softened valor still.
So Romeo thinks that because he married Juliet, that he's become weak. He's become weak, and he wasn't able to fight. All right, now we're going to see he is going to fight.
Oh, Romeo, brave Mercutio was dead. The gallant spirit hath aspired the clouds, which too untimely here did scorn the earth. This day's black fate on more days doth depend. This but begins the woe others must end. Here comes the furious Tybalt, back again. Alive in triumph, and Mercutio slain? Away to heaven, respective lenity, and fire-eyed fury be my conduct now. Now, Tybalt, take the villain back again, that late thou gavest me, for Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou or I, or both must go with him.
Okay, I want to just look at that one line here. Either thou or I or both must go with him. So Romeo says to Tybalt, either you or me or both of us are going to go with Mercutio. So Mercutio's dead. Romeo's saying, Tybalt, either you're going to die right now, Romeo's going to die, or both of them are going to die and join Tybalt and join Mercutio in death. So this fight, which is kind of like lighthearted at the beginning, has become very serious and very deadly.
Thou wretched boy, that didst consort him here, shalt with him hence.
This shall determine that. Romeo, away, be gone. The citizens are up, and Tybalt slain. Stay not amazed, the prince will doom thee death, if thou art taken. Hence, be gone, away. Oh, I am fortune's fool. Why dost thou stay?
Okay, so they leave out, I mean, in the movies and the theatrical productions, they do a great job. There's a huge fight between Romeo and Tybalt. It's very dramatic, very drastic, and Romeo kills Tybalt. He stabs him and Tybalt dies. Benvolio tells Romeo he's got to get away because if Romeo gets caught, he's going to be killed. The prince has doomed death to anyone, okay? So Benvolio, his cousin, says, Romeo, get out of here. Romeo says, I am fortune's fool, all right? He knows things are just going to get so much worse from here. So Romeo has to run away, and we're going to see the reaction of the rest of the town to this fight.
Which way ran he that killed Mercutio? Tybalt, that murderer, which way ran he?
There lies that Tybalt.
Up, sir, go with me.
I charge thee in the prince's name, obey.
Okay, now everybody starts arriving at this point. The prince arrives, Lord and Lady Montague, Lord and Lady Capulet, and many others. The prince arrives. He sees his kinsman, his relative Mercutio, dead, and he is going to give his sentence to who was part of this murder.
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
O noble prince, I can discover all the unlucky manage of this fatal brawl. There lies the man, slain by young Romeo, that slew thy kinsman, brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, my cousin, oh, my brother's child, oh, prince, oh, cousin husband, oh, the blood is spilled of my dear kinsman. Prince, as thou art true, for blood of ours shed blood of Montague. Oh, cousin, cousin.
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt, here slain, whom Romeo's hand did slay. Romeo, that spoke him fair, bade him bethink how nice the quarrel was, and urged withal your high displeasure. All this uttered with gentle breath, calm look, knees humbly bowed, could not take truce with the unruly spleen of Tybalt, deaf to peace. But that he tilts with piercing steel at bold Mercutio's breast, who, all as hot, turns deadly point to point, and, with a martial scorn, with one hand beats cold death aside, and with the other sends it back to Tybalt, whose dexterity retorts it. Romeo, he cries aloud, hold friends, friends part, and swifter than his tongue, his agile arm beats down their fatal points, and twixt them rushes, underneath whose arm an envious thrust from Tybalt hit the life of stout Mercutio. And then Tybalt fled, but by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge. And to they go like lightning, for ere I could draw to part them, was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and fly. This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
And Benvolio did give the truth of what happened. Lady Capulet does not want to hear it. Her nephew is dead. She wants justice. But she's unaware that the person who killed her nephew is now her son-in-law.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false. He speaks not true. Some 20 of them fought in this black strife, and all those 20 could but kill one life. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him. He slew Mercutio. Who now the price of his dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo, prince. He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes but what the law should end. The life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately we do exile him hence. I have an interest in your heart's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a-bleeding. But I'll immerse you with so strong a fine that you shall all repent the loss of mine. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses. Nor tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses, therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he is found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body, and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those that kill.
So Romeo does get a sentence. He is exiled. He needs to leave Verona and never return. Okay. The prince, he has an interest in this as well because his relative, Mercutio, was killed as well. So he doesn't sentence death to Romeo. He does not do that because he was avenging his best friend's death. All right. And we see, we might think that exile, that's not too bad. All right. He doesn't have the death sentence, but people were really connected to their homes, especially back then in these small city states in Italy. And Romeo probably never left Verona, or if he did, he just left once in a while. But all of his friends, All of his family, everybody he knows and loves is in Verona, and so is his new wife, Juliet. Okay, so this is very upsetting. He's going to find out this news soon, and he's going to be very upset by it. There are some great character interviews for this part of the play, the climax. So if you get a moment, go back to myshakespeare.com, look at Act 3, Scene 1, the character interviews, and check them out. All right, thanks for listening. We're going to move on to Act 3, Scene 2,